I have to do?
You have to go to the real world. You can go back to your regular life, or you can know the truth about the universe. The choice is now yours.
The first one, the high heel.
You have to want to know, okay? Do it again.
All right, life gainers. I'm back in the building with the homie James Booker. And this brother done twisted my arm in doing a double feature of Barbie and Oppenheimer. And the first one we're going to break down, Barbie, excuse me. James, what would you like to say about Barbie?
As a man in his 40s, it would have been weird for me to go to this by myself. So thank you for coming along.
No, as two men in their 40s, it would have been really weird if we would have dressed our asses up in pink like the ladies was doing coming to see Barbie. That would have been weird as hell.
Can't deny that.
Yeah, but we didn't do that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you're thinking about this movie, we're going to break it down, up and down. It is a spoiler. And this movie is written and directed by Greta Gerwig, distributed by Warner Brothers Media, executive produced by Mattel. They are the people that own the Barbie doll, Barbie. And the premise of this movie is Barbie and Ken are having the time of their lives in a colorful and seemingly perfect world of Barbie land. However, when they get a chance to go to the real world, they soon discover the joys and perils of living as humans. It's like you go from being in a perfect utopia to a dystopia that has imperfections. And this cast is star-studded, ladies and gentlemen. Margaret Robbie plays Barbie. Ryan Gosling plays Ken. Issa Rae plays President Barbie. Will Ferrell, he's the CEO of Mattel. And we also have Sim Liu, who I think is the same brother that played in Shang-Chi with Marvel. And then we also have, what's her name? Amara Ferreira. She's a human being. She plays Gloria. She has a daughter. And we also have Kate McKinnon, who plays the weird-ass Barbie. Having said those things, I will give the floor to James. By the way, be sure to like the video, subscribe. Lamont Tyson and Life Gains channel will be coming back real soon to bring you guys reviews on everything. So, James, I just got to turn the floor to you.
So when the first thing you say, you do the compliment sandwich. Good thing, bad thing, good thing.
Okay.
When the good thing you have to say is casting was outstanding.
Oh, boy.
The bad things are big.
Yeah.
Casting was outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
There was absolutely nothing wrong with the cast.
Okay.
They played their parts perfectly.
Right.
And I got nothing bad to say about that. And the rest of the movie, where do we even start? All right, there's a lot of stuff in the movie. I would say at least a third of what's in the movie did absolutely nothing to move the plot forward.
Damn.
And there were moments throughout where I just wanted to shout at the screen, "You're stalling, movie. You're stalling." This was another point made long.
So for me, James, when I heard about this, I was wondering, what the hell are you going to do to make a Barbie movie?
Okay.
Like what? How do you construct something to be a Barbie movie?
Yeah.
And with me being someone who's kind of creative and couldn't figure that out, I'll give them credit for finding a way to turn a toy into a movie.
Yes. And it's at this point, it's really important to mention that I don't think we were the target audience of the movie.
No,
or
we
at least
wasn't.
we shouldn't have been.
Well,
Parts of the casting made me question what I just said. Will Ferrell, Margot Robbie.
Yeah. Kate McKinnon.
I want to say we're not the target audience, but some of that casting felt like they were targeting it to us. That being said, no, this wasn't meant for us. So, got to review it with that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing wrong with it for little girls.
Right.
Which I think was the target audience, certainly of the product.
Well, the thing is, you can't bring a little girl here to this movie who's under 10 because this thing did have some more adult-based things, from the male patriarchy to what's really happening in America. They did a whole lot of diagramming the parallel between the Barbie utopia versus what's happening in real America.
And the patriarchy is a major plot point in this movie.
Yep.
And that's what I mean when I say they took a very simple point and made it long.
Oh, okay. I got you.
And they made it over and over. They make a joke about mansplaining, but then the movie very carefully mansplains its own plot to you.
Damn.
Over and over.
Damn.
They did the exact thing they were making fun of. And I
Right.
don't know a better way of saying that.
Well, that's what they did. They did. I mean, and one of his examples, when you go see the movie, there's going to be close to the end. God,
I don't even know what you're laughing at, but everything in it.
Issa Rae is the president of the Barbie. So, ladies and gentlemen, when the movie first opens, you're in Barbie land. This is a woman's utopia.
Yes.
Okay? And
their words, not ours.
yes. And everything that happens is a utopia each and every day. It's like they're living the same day each and every day. The men, all the women's names are Barbie. All the men's names are Ken. Each and every Ken is put in there to worship the Barbie.
And they spell that out for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like our main Ken, he even says he just waits for Barbie all day. He's waiting to get attention from her.
Yep.
And that is his job.
Right. Yep. And so they go throughout the whole thing. Just they have a Supreme Court that is all women, and they turn a lot of the crazy ass legislation that happens in America on its head, which we can get with. We understand that.
Why not?
And a lot of the male patriarchy, they turn that on its head, which we completely understand because we know that's some bullshit going on in America. Okay. Now that we get on into what's really happening, then we get into the point where Barbie feels like her life is redundant, and she mentions the fact that she thought about death.
Which, that was clever. Everybody's happy, everybody's dancing. Well, they're even doing a dance scene, and then suddenly Barbie just blurts out, "Do you ever think about dying?"
Mm-hmm.
And it comes to a dead, and the theater was dead silent, and the movie is dead silent, and you get a chuckle out of that. You really do.
Yeah, you do get a chuckle out of that. And when she did that, that made her go through a paradigm where she's going to have to traverse Barbie land to get to real human society. And in order to get there, she has to go meet weird-ass Barbie. And the premise of weird-ass Barbie is that in real life, a little girl just basically shitted on weird-ass Barbie. Broke her legs, painted all over her face, burned up her hair, just really turned a Barbie into, what's a pejorative for an ugly woman?
I don't even know in this case. She was drawn on, her hair was burned.
Hair was burned.
Yeah.
She burned up her breasts. The little girl just traumatized this Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why this weird Barbie is weird. But she tells the main Barbie.
Played by Kate McKinnon.
Yeah. And it was actually funny because Kate McKinnon stretches everywhere she can. Like she's doing these
Literal
splits
splits everywhere.
And that shit was funny as hell, man. That shit was funny. That was funny. Okay, that was funny. So Barbie gets to the real world to find a little girl that she assumes is causing her to start to deteriorate as a perfect Barbie.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a stretch, but they do spell it out for you pretty okay.
Yeah. And when she gets to the real world, we come to find out it's not a little girl that is the issue that's causing the perfect Barbie to have cellulite and flat feet and all the other things that women pick on women about that men don't give a damn about. It is the mom of the little girl.
It is.
And the mom is played by America Ferrera. And America Ferrera realizes that she trapped all these feelings inside her body and she never expressed herself.
Yeah.
And so we go through this scene that James hated, where everybody's got to go back to Barbie land to fix these issues. And the CEO and the board at Mattel attempt to trap the Barbie that came from Barbie land because they feel like she's causing stuff to go wrong. And James, your favorite part, they try to get her to get in the box.
Yes. All right. And you know what? It could have worked, but for everything that they spoon-fed us over and over, then you have a scene with no explanation. They want Margot Robbie playing Barbie to get in this giant cardboard box for them.
Yep.
But they don't explain any part of it. I don't normally want explanation to that degree, but it's sort of, are we supposed to be afraid of this box? Is this literally she gets in it and they'll take her back to Barbie land? Or is she going to get in it and they'll make her forget everything she's seen? Or are they going to put her in the box and then put her in storage so she's never seen again? There's no explanation. And at first, Barbie is okay with this, and then Barbie decides she's not okay with this, and again, no explanation. And that's the only scene where we probably needed to be told what to be afraid of, and they just didn't do it.
Needless to say, it was the box that Barbie originally came in. They tried to slip her in there and tie her up in it, and she was like, hell to the no. Then she's on the loose, and she's back in Barbie land. For
what was at that point our second or third chase scene of the movie.
Yeah, and James didn't care for the chase scene. Now, mind you, when Barbie came to reality world, Ken stole away into the car with her and came, and Ken had an opportunity to see how men really behave in real life world, and he took those precepts back to Barbie land before Barbie got there and turned the real Kens into real men.
Yes.
He had them drinking beer, he had them muscled up, he had them talking crap to the women, whistling at the women, slapping women on the butt. These Kens now weren't the Kens in the beginning.
No.
That was just basically stepping stools. These Kens now was your men's Kens.
And it was pretty funny for a minute.
It was funny, yeah, for a minute.
And the second minute was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then we had many, many more minutes of this.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, we get the point.
Yeah.
This is where I say, you're stalling, movie.
Yeah, that's the Ken scenes, man. They started to drag out, man.
Oh.
Now Ryan Gosling did his part, you know.
Yeah.
Bless that brother, man. The kind of work he probably had to do to get himself in that kind of shape, and the singing and all. He did his thing, but they drug his ass out a little too long.
Yes, it's like they said, you need to chew the scenery. He did great, but it kept going.
Yeah.
We get the point, but then they had to pour it on a little more, and at that point, I was starting to check out.
Right, me too. Now, ladies and gentlemen, some of you know that one of the ways I kind of rank my movies as a dad who's older than 40. Do I go to the movie theater and fall asleep? And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Damn it, I hate to do it. Not only did I fall asleep, but this movie started at 11 o'clock in the morning, which is really no reason why I should have fell asleep, other than I did not get a lot of sleep last night because my daughter kept me up. So that's my excuse.
I have a similar.
Okay.
I will sit through a movie, and no matter how much I need to go to the bathroom, I will not get up. I want to see this movie, and I don't want to miss something. And today I did. It was sort of like, I can go to the bathroom and come back. I'm not going to miss anything. Mm-hmm. There was no hope of an important plot point that I missed happening.
Yeah.
So that's sort of my measure is I will sit through a 3 and 4 hour movie, never get up to go to the bathroom. Like, I'm going to see this through. And today it was sort of I have something better to do right now.
Right.
I can go to the bathroom.
Damn it. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we get on with this review to get this done, they get to the point where the Kens have taken over Barbie land and brought the male patriarchy to Barbie land. And then we have a moment where the women have to come together and get Barbie land back and establish the reason why there was a Barbie land and a Barbie in the first place. What did she represent? So what did they do? They bring out the original creator of Barbie, who's about 96 years old, who reminds Barbie of what she is, who she is, why she was created, and why there's a Barbie for every single woman. Did you like that part?
I liked it the first time they did it.
God, damn it. What does that mean, man?
That means she did it once in Barbie Land and then did it once
in
more
human land.
in the sort of human, imaginary, foggy land. They like go into this foggy land of half death, half life. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yes, both times were lovely, but they could have chosen one of them and we all would have understood. We got the point.
And in the end, ladies and gentlemen, Barbie realizes what her self-worth is. Does Ken ever get the draws? Because he spends the whole movie trying to get her draws. No, they kept Ken in the friend zone and basically told Ken he needs to go on a mission to find himself and stop trying to find himself in someone else. They didn't do that with Barbie. because they used the angle of the lady who created Barbie to do that for Barbie. All right. Now, I feel like they should have done Barbie like that too, because usually the guy that the women put in the friend zone, he's really a good guy. And then they go find some dirtbag and wish that they had the guy they put in the friend zone. But they didn't put Barbie on that mission because they brought out the creator of Barbie to fill that void.
And they clearly were very careful not to do that.
Right.
And I get why. They changed it up a little. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. If we really wanted to take this movie super seriously
mm-hmm.
and look at it as this is how this is going to affect girls for generations to come, we could spend hours complaining about that. I don't want to give either side that much credit. I don't want to give this movie that much credit, or the people who want to argue for that much credit. It's just not. It's a Barbie movie, and that's kind of how I want to take it. Is it was meant to be fun and not taken too seriously. Many other movies, I might have pushed back against it. Not this one, not this time.
I mean, the things where they bash male patriarchy, I mean, I'm fine with it because it is an illicit overreach in real life, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I just think that they wasn't linear in how they got to that point. Like, and I get this is a great girl power, inspirational, but I felt like you could have been a little bit more linear because there are a lot of men that support the women's movement.
Yes.
And this is definitely a women's movement type of movie.
Absolutely.
Men, you are supporters of the women's movement.
Absolutely.
And us as men, we're not fucking beta men as supporters of the women's movement.
Right.
They made Ken feel like a real deal beta male.
But they bashed you over the head with it so much that if you're taking it seriously, you might be part of the problem to begin with.
Isn't every piece of art supposed to be taken seriously unless it is a comedy?
Was it a comedy?
A dramedy. Maybe it's both.
All right.
Because there was a lot of comedy in here. Was a lot of comedy in this thing.
It's a thinking man's movie.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say all that. It's a thinking woman's movie. I ain't gonna say that shit. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with this day. This guy. Okay, so now it's time for the ranking. We've given you what we like, what we didn't like. How would you rank this movie, James Booker? You go first.
First thing I'm gonna say is, if somebody doesn't want to see it, I would never try to convince them to see it. If you already want to see it, by all means go. 6 out of 10. Go see it if you already want to see it, though. It's not going to harm anything. If you don't want to see it, there's nothing for you to see.
I'm right with him. 6 out of 10. I give it a 6 out of 10. Like, even though I fell asleep, there was some entertainment value.
There was.
I like the message they was trying to portray. Find strength in yourself. Don't worry about the things society says you should do to make yourself be appealing to someone else. Find strength in yourself. I like those things. And I like how they flipped what's going on in society with the male patriarchy on its head to let people know, hey, if we all really and truly believe we're trying to be involved, let's share that power, which we're not doing. So for all those things, that supersedes me falling asleep. And I told you guys, I am not the demographic that this movie was made for.
Nope.
And so, having said all that, I do give it a 6. I give it a 6. You don't have to go see it. I mean, a lot of men ain't going to go see it unless they want to bash women. If you have a daughter, I don't think you should take her to see it unless she's at least 8 years old or is into Barbies.
Yep.
Because I think the younger they are, they probably would kind of lose some of the movie because it does have some adult themes.
And can I make one more point?
Yeah.
The movie, it makes it clear that they are aware of everything we just said. At one point, when they're talking about Barbie has to realize that she's beautiful anyways, or there's some lesson there, the narrator, the actual narrator of the movie from the beginning, breaks in and says, this point would be a lot better if we hadn't cast Margot Robbie. Right. And they blatantly say that.
They blatantly say it.
So the movie knows.
Yeah.
And points to them for that.
Exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is our review. We're getting ready to go in here and see Oppenheimer. Don't forget
There's a tone shift here.
The movie is about an hour and about like 45 minutes. This movie is anyway.
Barbie,
So enjoy if you're gonna go. Wait if you're gonna wait. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, download the podcast. We'll be right back with the Oppenheimer review, and then we'll compare these two movies because they're vastly different on the backside.
I think.
Yep. Till that next Sex is Hell video. We're out.